Hello, hello, hello. Today is the 26th of February 2025, and it's time to hear from Norm Winski. Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for having me on, Jeff. When I was last on your show, I think that was on the 10th of February. I gave you six forecast points. I'm going to go through these quickly, and then we'll show you the charts, and I'll tell you what's coming up here over the next several days. So the night of the 11th, we had a full moon in the sign of Leo. Anytime we have a full moon, we look at financials, grains, precious metals, and oil. And because it was in the sign of Leo, we're going to emphasize corn and gold. And then the night of the 13th, the AC is after the close, so that's overnight. Be looking for a possible entry on the next morning's opening. We had Pluto line up with the U.S. chart. Anytime we have that, stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. Night of the 14th into the 15th, same thing to the Uranus to the U.S. chart. Stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And well, here's the thing: we had Venus perihelion mid to late afternoon on the 19th. I did. Well, I'm going to get into that a little later. For most of the markets, most commodities were closed at 253, but the stock market was still trading, and I'll give you more details on that. But for the record, this is what I had: that after the close, Venus perihelion, and we'd be looking at cattle, copper, corn, cotton, gold, sugar, and wheat. And of course, let me remind you that stocks potentially respond to all events. So rather than having to repeat that a zillion times, I just assume that it's the stock market is also involved. Then the night of the 21st was the weekend, and we had a lunar cycle lineup with Neptune in Pisces for oil and silver, and then we had Mars. You might know what retrograde is. It has to do with the relative motion of the planets. And by the way, if you'd like any help on these technical terms and explanation, please feel free to call me. I'll give you a free class. Mars in Cancer turned direct over the 21st weekend there. That only occurs about every 2 years. So here we go. Here's the charts. We had 2 points for the corn, but I'm going to give the moon, because it was in the sign of Leo, double points. You might want to load up there, and you had to pull back into the opening of the 12th. The moon was over the night of the 11th, and you see that you had a very nice low on the corn, then a nice rally. Then we had the Venus perihelion right here, and then a big down on the corn. So that's nice. There's a couple of nice trades there on the corn. Soybeans were going sideways for the moon, so we just take a pass with the yellow box. Green is good, red is bad. And let me fix that thing real quick. And red is a miss. Here's wheat pulling down into the moon, and then the next day it made a slightly lower low, and then had a nice rally. And then if you we were looking, because of this rally here, we're selling against that high here on the wheat, and it went down. So wheat's all good. There's 2 good points there. Here's cattle with a Venus perihelion market also, and if you sold there, the bars are squished because of this huge move here, and I think that's about, let's see, 195 down to about 1 3/4. That'd be about almost $600. Oh, more than $600. $1.50 would be 600. So about $700 right there on that bar. And cotton, if you bought there, you did get a little bit of a drawdown there, but it did pop up that next day. So cotton's a winner. Sugar, you gave you no mercy on sugar, so that's a miss there. You had no chance to make any money. Oil was very good. Look at that oil there. You sold there on the moon, and then nice down. I think that was a good for 73 down to 70 and a half. It looks like. So that's about 2.5. That'd be $2,500 there. And you popped up here on this low on our Neptune thing. Neptune is oil, and that was 69 3/4 up to about $1.50. So that's another $1,500 there in oil. Here's copper. The bars are squished because of this huge move here, but every penny in copper is worth $250. And I think you got like a 10-cent move there in the copper, so that's good for about $2,500. And here's silver going sideways, so we do nothing there. what he indicated by the yellow box. And over here we had a miss on the silver, just kept going down, so that's not good. Here's gold, lots of sideways choppy action there in the gold. So we had our double window there with the moon in Leo, which is gold, and we did nothing, unfortunately. And also over here we had a pass on the Venus perihelion, because that also has to do with Leo and the sun, because the perihelion is Helios, is the sun, and it's all about Venus closest to the sun. Here we go. Here's the S&P. We had 6 points, potential points for the S&P. You pulled down here into the moon. Look at that nice low there. And then we went up here, and these bars are all squished because of these big swings. And so you had a chance to make a little bit of money there into this day here. And you had a chance to make even more money here. And here's what I wanted to talk to you about. All right, the night before the 19th, the night before the 19th, night of the 18th, I always send out a nightly update for my subscribers, giving more detail. And that night, and I think, Jeff, you might remember, I mentioned that the exact time for the Venus perihelion was 2:53 p.m. on the 19th. And if you go check your 1-minute bars, you'll find out the S&P 500 index topped at 251 that day. And several months ago, and repeatedly, I gave a long-term Fibonacci price target of 61.46, and the exact high was 61.47.43. So I was off by 2 minutes and $1.43. Jeff, I'm going to have to keep working on that. We're not quite there yet. Not hitting the perfection yet. All right, so anyway, we came down here and we had these 2 points here, and those were misses. So we hit 66% roughly on the S&P. Here's the bonds. We had a miss here on the moon, but then we made it up over here on our 2 U.S. points here. You sold there and you waited. You would have been okay by here. Same thing there. And here's the dollar, and you pulled back here into, the U.S. point here. This was a miss here over the moon, but we made it up here and so forth. And so if you add up all the green arrows and red arrows, it's 17 winners, 6 misses out of 23 for 73.91%. Here's what's coming up over the next few days. I got 4 forecast points, cycle points for you. This is the 26th, the night of the 27th into the 28th. We have a Mercury cycle for corn, soybeans, wheat. We have a new moon. We want to pay attention to those new moons and full moons. Financials, grains, precious metals, oil. And then we also have, over the weekend, the 28th, we have Venus turning retrograde. We're going to look at our Venus markets, cattle, copper, cotton, sugar, wheat. And then we have also a point for the U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. I'm going to give you a special deal here now. If you contact me by tomorrow, Thursday the 27th, I'll send you the February letter for free. And why should you care about that? Because every February, I give my long-term forecast for the whole year for the stock market and 1 or 2 other markets. And I show you some forecasting models in there too. So for the first 5 people that contact me by tomorrow, Thursday the 27th, you get the free February letter for free. You may have to talk to me, and I'll tell you how to do that in just a minute. I've been doing this over about 50 years now. Started in the early 70s, made enough money to buy a membership on the Chicago Port Options Exchange, where I was a member and market maker and Chicago floor trader for about 12 years. And here's how to get a hold of me. Here's my contact info here. I'm in beautiful Naples, Florida. You can call me at 239-594-3939, 239-594-3939. You can email me at nwinski, Nwinski at yahoo.com, or you can call me on Skype with that same address, nwinski at yahoo.com. Everybody have a great week. Thank you very much, Jeff, and looking forward to helping some of the folks.
Great as always, Norm. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
All right, thanks a lot, and thank you very much, Jeff.